Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Page 3 Hot Topics. We are joined by a new Page 3 girl this week. You'll get to answer all of her questions, or all of the questions you want to ask her, should I say, later on in the shows. Kate, welcome on board.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
There's lots, I'm sure, to ask you later in the hot seat, but you've got to stay tuned until we get to that point. And of course, we are joined by Jess and Barbi. Welcome on board, girls.
Hello.
It's been a long weekend. We're coming off the back of it. There seems to be, on my side of things, a lot of things to do when you've got a short working week, and then you have to come back to the chaos of it all. But hopefully this gives a bit of a light reliever this morning with Page 3 Hot Topics. We'll be talking about Love Island. We'll have the Sussexes coming back to the UK, Harry and Meghan. They're all across our front pages this week. And sex dolls, because you guys on the Daily Star seem to love a sex doll. Well, they are now having Glaswegian accents, apparently. So there we go. But we'll be talking about all of that as well as the hot seat later on in the series. So we're going to kick things off then with Love Island. It did launch. There was a lot of build up to it. We have spoken about this before, girls. Now we have seen what I'd like to say, a few of the classic kind of people going in there so far. There's nothing being too kind of fiery or spicy, but people have complained about the age gap. Now, David has come in, the 27-year-old Italian stallion, and he has, well, matched, or should I say, gone on a date with a 19-year-old. Now, girls, do you think that there should be an age requirement to go on Love Island? Do you think 19 is too young? Kate, I'm going to kick off with you.
I think it would be really nice if the age was 21 to 30. I just feel like that feels really age appropriate, and there wouldn't be kind of any issues with someone obviously 21 to 30 matching. And I think it just sounds, obviously she's a teenager, so when you're a teenager it always sounds a bit worse. If it was someone who was 22 and they were 32, there'd probably be no problems. So I do think it would be nice.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Would you agree, girls, or would you disagree? Or do you think 19, she's capable of making her own decisions? Barbie?
Yeah, I think I'm a different opinion. Like, I just think if you're over 18, like the show says, then it goes.
Okay, Jess, we're gonna leave this one with you. What do you think?
I don't know. I see both sides, because I feel like they kind of need to be really, not really young, but I feel like the audience is young, so they kind of want to watch young people. Maybe there should be an age cap on it. Maybe it should stop at like 25. But I know that would cause uproar.
Yeah, and then it will be like ageist. Tim says age is just a number, but they should probably restrict it.
It's just weird, isn't it? Does he know she's 19? When would you discuss age?
I mean, surely that would come up in conversation. Surely. I haven't seen the actual age conversation yet between them.
No.
So maybe he doesn't know. But also, if you looked at her, I mean, she's obviously young, but would you say that she was 19? I wouldn't know if I'd say that she was 19 or not.
I would assume she was like 24, personally. I don't know. It's just a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, she just.
It's difficult. I mean, it's like, I mean, for instance, I know this is completely different, but when did you girls get into Page 3? What age were you then?
I actually think I was 19, so
18, 19.
18, 19. Kate? Mid-20s, yeah.
Mid-20s, but I would have done it. I was 14, yeah. So
okay.
And I do think, obviously, there's the one side at the age of 18, you can do a lot of other stuff. So why shouldn't you go on a reality TV show? You can actually join the military. So there is that side as well. But yeah.
Yeah, you can join the military, you can get married, you can have a baby, you can buy alcohol. But everyone seems to be up in arms over a 27-year-old with a 19-year-old. Anyway, there we go. I guess it is a lot for a 19-year-old to go in, but if that's what they want to do with their life and they want to, be a reality TV star, then it does seem like a good age to go in to really kickstart your career. Johnny said an 8-year age gap is not significant. Okay. Kate, what's the sort of biggest age gap that you've had in a relationship? Would you say age is just a number?
Yeah, so my boyfriend's 11 years older than me, so obviously more than 8 years.
Okay.
So it's obviously more than 8 years. I think the older you get, though, the less age matters.
Yeah, for sure, for
So-
sure. Jess, you're umming. Have you had similar experiences?
Yeah. No, sorry, I don't know why I said yeah. I think it's completely fine to have big age gaps, but I've never had one. Sorry, I don't know.
No, that's okay. Barbie, have you had one? A slight age gap?
Not really, no.
No. Okay, well, Kate, we're learning from experience from you here, because neither have I. So we're learning from you. But 11 years, and it seems to work. And as you said, as you get older, age is less significant in terms of relationships, isn't it? Tim, would it be saying the same thing if it was the other way around? So interesting, a 27-year-old woman with a 19-year-old man.
Again, I feel like everyone would wince at that as well. I don't know, I don't think anyone thinks he's got any weird intentions. I just think it's uncomfortable. I don't even know if it is uncomfortable. If there wasn't uproar about it, I don't know if I would bat an eyelid. I guess I'm just stopping to think about it because it's everywhere. There's loads of memes about it, I guess. But
yes, and that's what we find with Love Island. It sort of seems to be the topic of the week. There does seem to be one thing. I'm sure next week there'll be something different. Kev says the show is all set up, so I'm guessing they've done it for press reaction. I mean, Kev, it seems to be working if they have, because we're talking about it right now. Would you say it was really set up, Kate?
No, I don't. I don't think so. They get so much press for literally anything on Love Island. So, I mean, I do think they put personalities in there that will clash sometimes. I think they do it on all reality TV show, but I just think he just happened to like her and she happened to like him on this occasion.
I mean, they are obviously both very good-looking people as well. Let's be honest. I could actually see them working as a couple. They'd be one of those couples you'd look at and you'd be like, okay, they're a really hot couple. they'd have beautiful babies, that's for sure. But their date did look very, very awkward. It has to be said. I'm not sure if the chemistry is really, really going off. But she came away from the date and she said, "Oh, it did. I really like him." So I was like, oh, maybe I've completely read that situation wrong. But there we go. But Barbie, so have you been watching Love Island? What do you think so far?
I've only watched one episode. I watched the start. I don't really have an opinion on it. I just think it's like any other time that it's been on.
Okay. So you're of a no opinion camp because by the sounds of things, you're pretty bored of it coming on and on.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. Kate, have you been watching? Are you interested? Will you be watching to the end?
I started the first season I watched was 2 years ago, where Molly May and Maura are in it. Maura actually went after Tommy, and that was an 8-year difference. And I don't think it was that covered, even though they didn't get together.
That's interesting. Very interesting. I didn't,
but no, I think it's entertaining. Oh yeah, see, it wasn't really covered.
No, it wasn't. Jess, I'm guessing you won't be with your popcorn sat down on the sofa every night at 9 p.m.
I actually have been watching it because my flatmates have been watching it, so I actually have been.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, so you're enjoying it? There is still a place for it.
I actually am.
Okay, interesting. Fine. Kate, we've asked this to the other girls on previous episodes, but we're going to have to ask you, if you were single and you got the opportunity to go on Love Island, would you go on it?
I wouldn't look to, if they came and offered it to me, I wouldn't pursue it myself. If they came and offered it, maybe. But only because you get a very lucrative career. I'll just say it, probably not for love, which is the wrong reasons. That's true.
You definitely do get a kickstart in your career, don't you? Tim said women have always been attracted to older men. Well, actually, Tim, from what we've said, I mean, Kate, you're your man. But I mean, I'm personally, I'm not attracted to to older men. So I'm not sure that's necessarily true, Tim. I mean, what do you
I
think?
actually agree.
Then again, if David Beckham asked me out and he was single, I wouldn't say no. So there we go. But let's take this to a poll then and see what you guys thought about the age requirement. See if we can get it up. Should there be a minimum age requirement for Love Island contestants? Yes, 97%. No, 2.7%. So that's interesting. I mean, maybe we should have worded that poll slightly differently, so it was like, 18 and above. But I mean, yeah. But 97% people think that there should be. So there we go. Maybe the producers will go back and think about that next year. But I'd highly doubt it. But we're going to move on now from Love Island, and we're going to be talking about the Jubilee weekend. It was a very fun-filled, lots going on wherever you were. I think you can't really avoid it, whether that partaking in it, looking on social media, looking at the papers. It really was everywhere. But we did see the Sussexes come back for the first time in 2 years. There they are. Meghan with a fabulous hat, has to be said. Absolutely loved her outfit. So let's talk about the Sussexes then coming back. They obviously do cause quite a lot of conversation. No matter what they do, they seem to be in there. You either really love them or you take question with everything that they do. Now, do you think they should have stayed at the end of the Jubilee celebrations, Kate? Because they did get on a private jet before the end of Sunday. And they were only seen once in public. Do you think it would have been the right thing to stay until the end, or are you just not that bothered? Oh, I think that the sound's gone there. Hopefully we can get
I
that.
think it would have been nice, but I think they did step down as senior royals for a reason. So yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah, that's true. They did step down as senior royals, so is it a senior royal thing to stay until the end? That's a very good point. Barbie, what do you think?
I just think they can't do right whatever they do. Everybody seems to have an opinion on them, but if it's up to me, I just think let them do whatever they want. They've come for the public once, so that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's enough for you. Jess, what do you think?
I think they're brave for even coming back in the first place.
Yeah.
I would hate that. So I think fair play to them. They've got like tiny babies, haven't they? Like a really, really new baby. So
yeah, Lilibet. Yeah.
So I feel like they can kind of do whatever they want, and they're going to get slandered either way. So they may as well just do whatever works for them.
Now, obviously, they were very understated. They literally went into the church and then they left the church. And then obviously it was Lilibet's birthday, I think, on the Saturday. So they threw a party for her then at Frogmore Cottage. Do you think, there is talk of them coming back in the future? If this Netflix deal doesn't quite work out, doesn't seem to be what it's made out to be, and the work sort of dries up in the US, would you like to see them come back to the UK and get back onto sort of the royal scene, as it were, full time, Jess?
No, I don't think so. I think it would be weird because they've kind of like, there should be, I'm sure there is, but like a bitter taste in their mouth from everything that's kind of happened. So I wouldn't like to see them come back because I think it'd be weird. But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of awkward family dinners. So yeah, there would be. There is talk of that. Kate, what do you think?
I really like Meghan Markle and Harry. One of the few people that maybe do. I do think it would be a bit weird if they came onto the royal scene again after they obviously did step down. But if I saw them come to the UK, I'd be happy about it because I just really like them.
Yeah. Okay. So we've kind of got like the Jess saying, maybe not, maybe stay in the US after everything would be a bit awkward. You'd be happy if they come back. So Barbie, we're gonna leave the choice with you. Would you like to see them come back or stay there?
I'm really not bothered whatever they do. It's their life, isn't it? It's nice if they do come back, but they've probably got a better life in the US.
Yeah, they definitely have a different life in the US, that's for sure. You can't see the Queen being followed around by Netflix cameras. Yeah, that's interesting. But we did see a really cute moment at the weekend with the Queen, with the Paddington Bear and the marmalade sandwich, which was very cute, which was probably my favourite moment from the weekend. Tim, no matter what you say, Prince Louis stole the show, and it was good they turned up. Now, girls, did you see the picture of Prince Louis completely acting?
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah.
So good. It goes to show that they are still like a normal family despite all of their riches and what they do day to day. It was fantastic. Tim, you're loving it today. It'll be weird if they came back to be part of the royals after turning their back on everything. Okay, interesting. Well, we took this to a poll to see what you guys thought. Do you think Meghan and Harry should have stayed until the end of the Jubilee weekend? And they are in your camp, Jess. No, they shouldn't. Which is quite interesting because whenever we've done hot topics polls, usually about Harry and Meghan, they usually sway the other way. So I think the fact that they've come back, I think people are now sort of like, okay, they've done their bit. We now get it. I think it's taken a bit of time, but I think we're slowly getting there. But we're going to move on from Harry and Meghan now, and we're going to go on to sex dolls, which is interesting. And until I started working at the Daily Star, I have to say personally, I'd never heard of a sex doll. But there we are. But yeah, very interesting. So there they are. Again, all I'm going to say is interesting. I just keep on describing them as interesting. But they are now getting accents. And I don't know if we have the video. Fine if we don't. But you can now adapt your doll to get an accent. And one of these sort of went mad on social media. And it was a Glaswegian accent. Now, girls, do you think this is just a step too far? I personally find it a bit odd. But Kate, what do you think about this?
I do find it a bit odd. I guess if that's what he likes, we should just let him be happy. But yeah, I do find it weird.
It is. I just think it's just almost a tad too human. Like there's no kind of differentiating between a human then and a doll. Barbie, what do you think about this?
I just think it's weird. That's all I can say.
Sorry, but that's creepy and accents would freak me out. Jess, what do you think?
I do think it is odd. It's definitely odd, but at the same time, like you can with them sex dolls, you can control like anything that you want. So I guess like the voice, it does make sense that you should be able to control it, but it's mad. When I saw the video and I thought that's got to be fake, but it's not fake. Then it's definitely real. Wow,
it's not fake. It's not
crazy.
Fake. I know, yeah. It's honestly bizarre. But there we go. Kate, we've spoken about this on previous hot topics. So I'm going to ask you questions that I've asked the girls already. And if you girls have any other examples, please do bring them into this. But we've, on the topic of sex dolls, now we know obviously with the line of work that you girls have done with page 3 and stuff, it does attract, lots of men with different sort of ways of sliding into your DMs. What's the weirdest DM or request you've had? Which is PG, which we can say.
Weirdest request which is PG. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably quite common, but I love requests like shoes and stuff. People wanting to buy my shoes and stuff, or like pictures of my feet, asking them if I sell them photos, pictures of my feet. That's quite. So.
Yeah. That's so Barbie.
I don't think there's been anything so.
Yeah, Barbie's also had that. She's also had the shoes request. How much did someone offer you, Kate, for a pair of your shoes?
I think it was like a few. We didn't really talk pricing, but a few hundred. Someone's offered me before. Yeah, I didn't do it. Maybe I should have.
Maybe you should have. Yeah. Maybe Barbie, did you end up doing it?
Yeah, of course.
A deal's a deal. Business is business at the end of the day. Jess, have you ever had that?
Yeah, not shoes, but I've sold loads of stuff like bras, things like that. Yeah.
Now, when they say, can you send me like a used bra or something? Do you actually send them a used bra?
Yeah, I don't mind stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, sure. Like, I think I draw the line with like dirty pants. Like, actually, like I don't mind like taking a few selfies in a pair of knickers and then posting them because that's fine. But if someone was like, oh, I want you to wear them like for ages, send them up, I'd be like, no. But yeah, I don't really have a problem with that.
Now, do you spray perfume on it before sending it in the post?
This was years ago now when I was at my first uni. Yeah, I think I probably did. But then again, I was really skint, so maybe not. So I wouldn't have been.
Save the perfume for a date.
Yeah. So I can't remember, but yeah, it was that kind of vibe as far as I remember.
Interesting. Okay. We took this to a poll, I think, about sex dolls. Is giving a sex doll an accent a step too far? And people said no.
I voted in that, and I said yeah. I actually saw it on my Twitter and voted.
I mean, they said no. So I mean, I just think that's, well, there we go. That obviously maybe a lot of the viewers do have sex dolls themselves. Now, would you find it odd if someone said to you that you were dating that they had a sex doll? Would that put you off?
100%. Yeah, I would never see him again.
Yeah.
Never. Ever.
Is that the same for everyone then?
Yeah.
Maybe that's advice for any men watching who've got sex dolls. Keep it to yourself.
Even sex toys, the ones that men can have, I just think no. And I'm really open-minded, but I draw the line there. Sorry.
Incredible scenes. The girls, would it be no from you too?
No, for me.
Kate, no?
100%. Yeah, it would just put me off completely.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm pleased that we've had this conversation on a Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Fantastic news. Thanks, girls. Well, we're going to move on now from sex dolls and sending your used shoes for money, and we're gonna go on until the hot seat with our Love the caps. Absolutely love the caps. It's right there. It's right there for everyone to see. Thank you, Charlotte, who's behind the scenes, who produces this. This is brilliant. Right. So this is the section where you get to ask the new Page 3 Hot Topics girl any questions you would like. No pressure. Obviously, do keep it slightly PG in the comments section. We'll only bring up comments which are acceptable to put up. So that is your warning. Okay. And you've got to go past Charlotte, the producer, who will bring up the questions, and there's no getting past her. So big heads up. But we're going to kick off with the girls first. Jess, we're going to kick off with you.
Okay. So my question is, if you could have a hall pass and go on a date with any celebrity, who would it be?
Elon Musk.
Who's he? Oh, the Twitter
Elon Musk. Oh, that is very interesting.
Yeah, he's the SpaceX. Yeah, 100%. I'm obsessed with him. Always have.
Really?
Oh, that I was so not expecting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So it like, do you find him sexy, like intellectually, or sexy both physically and emotionally?
Yeah. So what attracts me is, I really like people who are extremely intelligent. Obviously, Elon Musk is like a genius, but he wants to go to Mars. He wants to create a multi-planet species. Of course, I'd love to go on a date with him. I couldn't think of anyone more interesting.
Oh, I think that was a great question, and I love the answer. Okay, cool. Tim says, what's the wildest experience you've had as a model?
So I've done a lot of beauty pageants. I've gone to a few international ones, and they've been in different countries such as China. So I'd have to put it as one of them. it was just, you know, a completely different experience altogether. But in particular in China, I just remember how different it was. And I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat fish, so I ate rice for like a month. It was kind of horrible, but I loved it. So I haven't really got any other wild experiences, I don't think.
It was just like a different culture entirely.
Yeah, it's just a completely different world. It's like when you're at an international pageant with loads of different countries, it's just like not being in real life for like 4 weeks and every day. It's not like a free holiday. A lot of people think that, but you're, you know, just doing promotional activities. It's just a bizarre experience. It's like being on a different planet for like a few weeks. So
it sounds quite fun. It sounds like a good life experience, that's for sure. Barbie, your question next.
Okay, so now that you said that you've done pageants, which has been your favourite one and why?
So I competed for the title of Miss Earth England for a few years. That's like an environmental pageant, and I've got kind of an environmental advocacy, so it suited to me the most. I did end up winning, but unfortunately it was virtual, so I didn't get to go to the Philippines for a month. But that has to be, yeah. So that was a bit good, but I still enjoyed obviously competing. It was all like this virtual.
Gutted that you couldn't get to go to the Philippines. Will you compete again in the hope to go?
You can't compete again. Obviously, if you've won the title of Miss Earth England, which is kind of what I won, then someone else will be crowned in a few weeks. Actually, I would probably do another one, maybe a different one, maybe one more, but I'm not sure yet. So.
Interesting. Okay, Tim said, "Do you prefer dressing up or being casually dressed?"
I am so casual 95% of the time. I'm unrecognizable compared to my Instagram or anything. So I do prefer being casual, but I do love to dress up. It's either, there's no kind of in between. I like to go all out or just look homeless, basically.
Yeah, I completely feel you. I'm exactly the same. Jess, another question from you, please.
So if you could go on any reality TV program, what would it be? I'm really obsessed with this question. I literally ask it to everybody.
I would go on The Apprentice because I've got my own business and I'd love to just be by Ellen and Sugar. It'd be so much fun. I'd try and quit before he fired me, like just a few seconds before, but they'd probably cut that bit out.
Oh, that's it. And what's your business, Kate? Can we talk about that on here or not? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, so I've got I don't know. Yeah, I've got a swimwear company. So I create like bikinis. I actually sent one to Barbi recently and she took a photo for me in Santorini. So I loved it.
Oh, how nice is that?
That's really good. Nice. It's like the best quality I've ever felt, to be honest.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That is so nice.
Lovely.
Cute. Love this, girls. Love this. Tim, you are just loving Hot Topics today. You can't stop. What would your perfect night out be?
For like a date night, I just like to do stuff. I love going to like ghetto golf and stuff like that. Just something nerdy like that. Maybe like an arcade. Yeah.
yeah. Something to keep you entertained. That sounds good. A good activity. Barbie, your question now.
So, what is your biggest achievement to date?
I haven't achieved it yet, but I'm doing a Bachelor of Liberal Arts degree in International Relations and I graduate next year. So when I graduate, that will probably be my biggest achievement.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Tim just says he's glad to be back because we've been off for a few weeks. He's absolutely loving it. Well, welcome back, Tim. Welcome back. Now you've mentioned the Philippines. I was going to ask something along the same lines, but Tim, you're taking it for me. I think you should take over as host, to be honest, at this rate. What would be the perfect holiday for you?
My favorite country in the world is Barbados. I love being around the ocean, and I love to scuba dive, and just the marine life there is incredible. So 100% would love to move to Barbados. Not even just go on holiday there, just move there.
Yeah, just move, just pack your bag and go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are all out of time today, and I'm sure Tim has got about 10 other questions, but you'll have to wait till next time, Tim, to be honest. But we absolutely loved having you on, Kate, today. We found out a lot about you, and I'll have to look up that bikini as well that you sent Barbie. I want to see what it's like. But yes, you can follow Kate on our socials. We'll be putting up stories from this as well as on our Twitter. We'll confirm a time next week, most probably Thursday. It's looking like. So a week from today, you can come back. Tim, you can come join us again. We're loving the enthusiasm. And you can catch up on this as well on all of our socials. So you can give all the girls a follow there. You can follow Daily Star too. But thank you so much for coming on, girls. And we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.